London, and these are the Scottish Students Rugby League squad who are down here taking a look at the Super League. They're off on a European tour, jetting off to France, Italy and Tatarstan as well. We say bon voyage to them. And they're enjoying their evening in the sunshine, and they're enjoying this match as well, and why shouldn't they? It's a terrific contest between these two sides. London playing for their top six lives, really. Widnes and Warrington at the Halton Stadium tomorrow will have a huge influence on how that one, or that shapes up for London, and other matches as well, of course, that could have a big say in whether London finish in the top six. But well, they can't come up with errors like that from Tony Martin if they are to fight back and win this match. I'm sure Sean McRae looking for Hull to come out of the traps early in this second half and try and wrap the match up. This is Jason Smith. Now it's with Scott Logan. Bounces off the shoulder of Gareth Price. Gives it then to Jackson. Jackson then to Mackay. Mackay, well, they tried to feed his winger Matt Crowther.
Well,
with a knock on.
Mistakes are plenty from both sides. Nothing wrong with the pass. You could see there it just bounced off the chest of Matt Crowther. Maybe it's affected by the sun, which is dropping down lower and lower. You can see the lengthening shadows on this pitch. Interesting to note there, during that half-time rest, that Sean McRae brought out the entire team out onto the pitch very early, so it gives you some indication it must be quite warm in the dressing sheds also.
Well, Sean is dressed as though he's off to the Costa del Plenty. And this is Reckless for the London Broncos. No member of the big three, of course, for London. They struggle really without Barnett, Hetherington and Dimmock. Budworth filling in for Jason Hetherington, Tucker, the former Wigan man.
Big boots to fill as well. That was his first run from dummy half. Maybe a little bit more confidence from him could help matters.
And here is Dennis Moran, shaped to kick, then flick the pass. Budworth again. Run up the middle from Budworth, taking on Smith and also Ryan, and coming up with the knock-on as well. That's turned the possession over to Hull. Let's get half-time news. On the sideline, Chris Warren.
Yeah, Eddie, both coaches very similar in a lot of respects. Both cool, calm and collected. Not two of the most animated coaches. Tony Ray, though, he was a little bit disappointed, although he was happy with the mini revival in the first half, though disappointed his team were making so many unforced errors. He did say to them, don't forget, guys, round 5, the revival at the Boulevard from Hull, and he's hoping for something similar as a penalty is some good news there for the Broncos. A scrum will pack down Shaw. Penalty there, a feed to the Broncos. Sean McRae, he was similar again. He said that he was disappointed at one stage. It was obviously 22 points to 4. They had the opportunity to twist, to put another nail in. They didn't. They took the pedal off the gas as the Broncos have another attacking raid. Disappointed that they didn't go on with it. And again, he said they were forcing too many passes.
Nigel Roy in possession for the Broncos, off one knee to Budworth. He misses out Moran and finds Marshall, who brings it back down the middle again. Impressive since he came off the bench, Marshall, as has Stevenson. Here's Moran, now Toshak. Good strong drive up the middle, but the Hull defence stands firm.
There again,
mistake from Chester, by the way, that gave them this opportunity. Dabbed through by Gillette. Martin's after it. He's got there. Tony Martin's got there. And it's a carbon copy start for London at the start of this second half. Martin with the try, racing on to the little grubber kick through. Tony Martin, 24 on Wednesday of this week. And there's a celebratory try. The man who's second on the goal-kicking chart in Super League. There's the mistake.
There's the error from Chris Chester. It's up to the man playing the football to control it. And it was a neat kick through by Gillette. Oh, they were caught napping there. Really, Crowther should have moved back and anticipated. No pressure applied there to the standoff Michael Gillette. And Martin, plenty of pace. There's no one at home. Martin is 4 points.
4 points, and it could easily turn to 6 in a moment, because Tony Martin is lining up the kick, the try scorer. And he has got over the line, as you can see, in consecutive matches for London. 5 goals in defeat at Hull in April, 4 from 4 against Castleford last week. And that is a bad miss. He's not kicking well this evening. That's a couple he's missed. 22-16.
And not from difficult situations either. And in the final wash-up, Tony Ray knows that could well be the difference. He's confused, and rightly so. Must be extremely warm, though, wearing the headgear in this very warm climate tonight.
Stevenson to rush the ball forward again for the Broncos. Good start to the second half then for them. They got a great start to the first half as well, and then it all came tumbling down, and Hull would be looking for the mistake here.
Well, you would have thought that Sean McRae would have had a chance to talk to his players and say, hey, come on, London was giving you a wake-up call in those last 10 minutes of the first stanza.
Gillette wide, this is Nigel Roy, and the ball drops, goes back, Retchless, picks up, finds Moran, and Ryan is the man who finishes Dennis Moran off in the end. Budworth dummy half, Gillette, Stevenson, Marshall. Chester got to him with help from Maurice, halted ground on the last. Stevenson, Gillette, there's the kick over the top, all onside again. Martin claims it brilliantly. Oh, great pass inside. Price it is. Gareth Price, second try. London are back. Wonderful skill. Martin climbing so high. Beautiful pass inside. And Gareth Price, the Welsh international, that's his second try.
Super sub that did well to keep the ball away from the sideline. Did his foot hit it? I think it did. No, they've got him up there. You've got to say that it was Dominic Peters. That's Dominic Peters up there. It didn't go over the whitewash. Good position by the touch judge. What a neat chip. Utilised in the sun. Martin took it superb. The pass was even better. That's try time. Chester will get a bit of a lecture for this late attempt, but this is sheer skill. Wonderful stuff, a la Australian rules, and that was not the best from Chester. He came in very late to Price and could very well have given away an extra 2 points for this infringement. Never stop. Price didn't like it. He'll enjoy the pack that has got 4 points.
Began the day with 1 try in Super League 7, has now got 3. Well, Tony Martin, the scores here now, as we watch this, could be level. 22 apiece. Well, London have fought their way back into a match that was gone after 22 minutes.
They were on their knees, and it looked for all the world that the tank was empty. Shake of the head from Sean McRae, and rightly so.
Well, he will say that they are contributing to their own downfall here.
Well, they certainly are, but let's not take anything away from the wonderful kicking from Gillette. He didn't have the greatest first half. He came up with plenty of errors too. But they are utilising this sunny situation. It will always be going down on that left-hand side.
This is the fellow who's made such a difference, though, as Bowden returns for Marshall. Francis Stevenson has carted the ball forward at every opportunity. He's had his problems with injury this year, but he looks full of running.
Well, he looks back to full fitness, and as you said, he's had the best game I've seen him play over here. Hungry for work, and he's really given his colleagues a good kick up the bottom.
He has. It's a great lift when the prop forward starts running like that. And Bowden from dummy half. They're coming down that right channel again. Toshak's pass. Bounces off 1, bounces off 2, long ball then. Here's Stevenson once more. Flick pass, it's with Nigel Roy. Roy taking them on. Horn and Smith combining on the last to haul him down. Retchless, Moran, here's the kick. The sun goes behind a cloud for a moment. Mackay's after this. Oh, and then that ball went backwards, I think. It did.
Certainly went backwards.
Crowther dropped it, and it went backwards into the arms of Mackay. This is Prescott then.
Well, it looks as though he took it superbly and then just lost it. Oh, that could have been deemed as a knock-on. Really difficult to see, though, for the official.
Logan does well in the tackle. Jackson.
Different defensive pattern, London. Remember, they sorted it out just about quarter of an hour to go in that first half. They went back to a man-on-man marking. It's certainly working for them.
It's a very skinny 10 that Carl Kirkpatrick is keeping this evening. Prescott to his feet. Jackson and Jason Smith to hoist the bomb, looking for Rayner out here. And Rayner, oh, well, he surrendered that really to Dom Peters, and Peters is over the whitewash, head on the line. Good kick in the end, it turns out.
Well, you always take the gamble, don't you? But to be fair to Dominic Peters, it was just lobbing to him. He had to do it. His head just brushed the whitewash. Sufficient for the touch judge to lift his flag. Not much in it, though. He was moving all the time. He nearly got away with it with his hairstyle.
Here is Mackay trying to outmuscle them down the middle. He stood up to the challenge well, though, did Paul Sykes and Gillette. Now then, Adam Marr back inside. It comes to Chester. Good hands. Ryan. And about three of them go for a piggyback on the back of Sean Ryan.
Good defence there from Bowden.
Jackson off the deck to Smith. Smith pops it up for Logan. Oh, and he's dropped it. Dom Peters has it, and he's dropped it. The referee will play the first.
No advantage to Peters. Good refereeing by Carl Kirkpatrick. You could see there that he was trying to offload under a lot of pressure.
I think the ball was stolen here.
Logan, was he trying to offload it?
Moran's arm there, the left arm.
Yeah, but deliberately pulled out, not seen by the official.
That should have been a whole penalty. There were two in there.
Moving, Dennis. Come on.
Sykes to his feet, plays the ball quickly. Bit of pace, bit of urgency about this London side now. Price, Bowden.
No penalties.
Coming back again, taking on Marr, offloads. Price once more.
Well, Hull, they're having their confidence eroded by this wonderful fight back from London, but that's good defence. It went back. Stevenson did lose it, but it did go back.
The referee thought that Hull had got the possession then. He was about to go and police to play the ball on the other side.
Oh, that's a penalty. He's been deemed tackled, Bowden. He claims that the ball carrying arm never hit the deck. We'll soon see. Yeah, it did.
Was he held?
Now then. Yeah, maybe. Well, it's easy with the slow motion replay, of course.
I don't think he was held, Bowden.
Well, 50-50, they got away with a strip of the ball, didn't they? Dennis Moran clearly stripping the ball against Scott Logan. And the scales of justice have levelled up.
It's a huge call, though, from Carl Kirkpatrick, isn't it? At a very crucial stage of the match.
Pretty hard to pick that, though, Eddie. Jackson appeared to be involved in the tackle, but, well, this is respect, isn't it? When they're going for the 2 points wide out.
Well, it is. At 22-all, though, respect with a capital R from both sides, suddenly. Crowther, then. Very important kick. 5 from 5 against Saints, try against London at the Valley in the match last year. This an important kick in the context of this game, though. Hits the post and bounces in. His heart was in his mouth for a moment. Hull have a 2-point advantage, but should they have been given the penalty anyway?
Either way, it's an extra 2 points. A little bit of luck on his side. So often it can hit the upright and go the opposite way. Oh, and they've been caught cold yet again.
Well, that's about the third time now, isn't it, that Hull have surrendered the possession from the kickoff. because they will get head and feed at this scrum, London.
Wicked bounce yet again, but I don't think that's a fluke. I think that they've obviously been practicing this.
Definitely.
Paul Sykes has come up with 4 or 5 beauties.
It's happening too often for it to be a fluke, Steve-O.
Yep.
Here's Sykes. Good drop of the shoulder, almost beat Prescott. Good job that Jason Smith was there. Paul Sykes gingerly to his feet. Budworth.
Down.
Budworth attacking the line. Sykes is hurt. He's holding onto his back.
He was twisted in that tackle.
Toshak to his feet. Budworth. Moran. Wide it goes. Good ball inside to Bowden. Bowden thinking about the offload, being dragged back and eventually hitting the deck.
Good work by Chester and Lee Jackson. The hatcher to stop Bowden from offloading.
Budworth to Gillette. Gillette scores. London's turn to be on their feet. Their supporters now. But Paul Sykes has a problem. But Michael Gillette doesn't. He came up with a couple of untidy errors in the first half, Gillette. But he's just come up now with a priceless 4 points that nudges London ahead again.
Went to sleep, and all came about. The kick from Sykes. The kick off here. Bang, right over the top. Crowther was caught out. He was also caught out later. Skinny blind side, and he just threw the dummy to Gillette. Well, he wasn't much of a hero in the first 40 minutes, but he certainly made up for it. He has paid his coach back big time. Just a little shuffle, and Hull, they look devastated.
Well, if you remember in the first half, when Sykes' kick-off, and this time Martin finds the mark with the kick, by the way. In the first half, when Paul Sykes' kick-off found the dead ball area, they scored, London, from the next set of 6, and exactly the same thing has happened in the second half. Deja vu. And the girls are high kicking because London have hit the front again.
And they've every right.
28-24.
They've every right to be as well. It was a quality effort by Gillette. The thing is that how many times do we often see it? A side scored a try or kick the goal, as Hull just did then, come up with the error and then concede the try. Lack of concentration. Sean McRae will not be impressed. Tony Ray will be. They have dug themselves out of a huge hole, and full credit, they roll the sleeves up. It's been solid hard work from the forwards. Stevenson leading the way.
And Budworth is starting to run from dummy half as well. Bowden, it's his turn now to impress with a hard drive forward. Martin at dummy half for London. Moran measures the kick, looking for the tall figure of Peters. Didn't quite reach him, but it got to Retchless. Gillette, ball inside to Retchless. Here is Nigel Roy. It's a great London try. That's a fantastic London try.
Well, they can't believe it, but this fella can. Superb handling skills. And don't the crowd love it here? There were sad faces in the stand midway through the first half, but not anymore, and it's a quality effort too. Plenty of height from Moran. They were all at sea. That was excellent play. Retchless offloaded and then back on the inside. The support was absolutely supreme. And once he got the ball back on the inside, it was always going to be TRY by ROY.
Martin improves that try. 34-24. Well, at 22-6, Hull looked home and hosed. Tony Ray waved the magic wand, and suddenly London fans have got a big smile on their face. 10th try of the year for Nigel Roy. Hull were celebrating not long ago. They've gone very quiet.
Well, it's an amazing game, isn't it, rugby league? Topsy-turvy. But this guy...
He's made the difference.
Oh, he will be celebrating. That's if they can hang out in the last quarter, remember, and it looks like Smith has picked up an injury. Or is it Jackson? I couldn't quite see. It looks like Lee Jackson has picked up a bad injury. He's holding his arm.
Here's Stevenson again. Well, I know there must have been despair all around Rugby League land yesterday, but I told you that London and Hull would prove once and for all what a great game this is in the Tetley Super League. It's rich entertainment week after week. Just internationally, we are a little bit lacking at the moment, which is a shame. But next week, Hull against Bradford is developing into a real struggle. Friday at 7:30 on Sky Sports 1, we see Hull again against the champions and the World Club champions. And a great game on Saturday at the Jungle, the Tigers against Wigan. Pick a winner out of those two. The way Castleford have come back in the last couple of weeks. Here is Richard Hall.
Well, he's a guy that can pull something out of the bag, and boy, oh boy, they certainly need it.
Chester had to stretch. Here is Graham Mackay. Mackay, one of those trademark runs of his, but halted by Gareth Price. Jason Smith looking to hoist the kick, which he does, looking for Rayner. Peters, though, is tall, and Peters sets off on a great run again.
Well, many people in rugby league feel that Dominic Peters a little bit suspect under the high ball, but he kept his cool then. It was a good take, good high kick from Jason Smith. But it looks like this Hull side are becoming devoid of ideas. That's been brought about by the fact that the Broncos' defence has tightened up considerably.
It's being played at breakneck pace in warm conditions. Chester scrags the man to the ground. And they're looking now to try and just slow it down a bit, Hull. It's London who are finishing with a wet sail. Moran with the kick over the top into open space. An unkind bounce for Hull. Prescott's in trouble. Does well. Hull then will now try and work this ball away. Paul Cullen, this will certainly rekindle the flames of enthusiasm in the Super League.
Well, I'm sure it will, Eddie. There were howls of laughter from the Hull FC fans in that first half. Every time the Hull team put the ball to the air, one of the Broncos dropped it. How the tide has turned. It's very, very difficult conditions. Great piece of skill from Tony Ray. He's turned the tide. Went in a hole, stop digging, stop giving the ball away cheaply, work on the completions, get to the kick and put Hull under pressure. That's exactly what they've done, and the game has turned on its head.
It has. Hull, though, looking to reply now. This is great hands, but the ball knocked back. And this is Mackay. No, it wasn't knocked back. It was a loose pass. It's the last one for Hull here. And Smith kicks under pressure from Hall, but straight down the throat of Sykes. Back come London again. They have the sniff of something, London.
Good pressure and a great take. Good positioning by the fullback Paul Sykes. And he's carted that ball up a valuable 20 metres. Now then, composure has got to be the key now for the Broncos. Nothing silly. They are not in a chase-up.
Offside.
Just about to say they are not in a chase-up situation like the men from the Boulevard. And surely they'll go for the 2 points.
Yes, they will, because they know a 10-point lead could become 12, and Hull then would have to score 3 times to win this match.
You can see there were plenty to select from the official Carl Kirkpatrick. Well, in that midway through that first half, Eddie, I was just feeling so sorry for the Broncos fans, because everything was going wrong for the London outfit. But boy, oh boy, it's not just changed around with sheer luck. This Bronco outfit, they have dug deep. They've changed their defensive tactics, went man-man marker. The young fella, Neil Budworth, a lot more runs from dummy half than we saw last week against the Castleford Tigers.
Martin has scored another 2 points. Hull have to score 3 times.
And they're looking very dejected at the Hull side. They know that they were in complete control.
He's one of the most laid-back characters in the business, is Tony Ray. Shows little emotion, win or lose.
You say that again, you know, sometimes I talk to him, I think he's gone to sleep.
maybe when you talk to him, he wishes he had.
Probably.
Oh, and a little flick off the fingers of Reckless. Peters will pick it up, and Toa Koilov is in there with Horn. News from the sideline, Chris?
Well, Gareth Carvel has just come back on, Eddie, and I'm sure Tony Ray will be saying to his troops, look, let's stop this man. Don't forget he scored 3 tries in the round 5 game at the Boulevard, and it was his last gas try that stole the victory from the Broncos on that day. Not coincidental, Eddie, that to the vast majority of points have been scored at the eastern end. That sun is still very, very bright indeed, and it's not looking like it's dropping too quickly either.
No, not many clouds around in the capital this evening, but there will be a huge black cloud over the Hull team coach as it makes its way back up north. If they lose this, they were in a strong position in the first half. Prescott hunted down by Gillette.
Well, there's no excuse, Eddie. They did travel down yesterday, so it's not as though that they're a bit leaden-footed. Okay, the Broncos did score very early. Now then, could this change the pattern of things? Silly penalty to give away. Rain all over the back of Smith.
Keep it tight, come on, it's getting scrappy.
Just missing a ball at the moment.
But Hull know they've got to score very quickly indeed. But it's not going to be easy against this solid defence. Look, they're moving up.
Prescott makes a break. Oh, great tackle by Martin.
Where did it come from?
Martin had a second snap at him. This is Jason Smith, and here now is Glenn Donkin. Teenager thrown on by Sean McRae to try and turn this match around. Chester to Smith. Long looping pass to Graham Mackay. Hall was just kept in no man's land. This is Crowther. Good tackle though. And Crowther, he's over, is he?
Yes, he is.
He is, it's a try.
Well, it was a stunned silence there. It was a beautiful pass inside by Graham Mackay. He tried that about 10 minutes ago, and it was Crowther that knocked on, lost control, but not on this occasion. Neat switch by Smith onto the blind side, missed out too. Oh, they paid the price. Martin went across with his winger.
Well, it's a good job that Matt Crowther didn't lose his geography on the ground.
We'll watch them both go for the big fella. Steve Hall and Tony Martin going for the same man. It allowed this fella to get in. Oh, we could be in for a big finish.
We certainly could. Crowther with a try. And Crowther now with the conversion attempt. Scottish international Matt Crowther, and this is a very important kick for Hull. It's not the easiest though. He's way out on the touchline, far side. London crowd doing their best to put him off. They know the importance of this kick too. Crowther hits the post again, and this time it bounces out.
Had the luck before, but was denied on that occasion. And the missed attempts at the 2 pointers, as we've mentioned so often during this game, that it could end up in the washout. Well, they did the right thing by scoring the 4 pointers, couldn't add the extras.
It's 6 tries to 5 to London, and on the scoreboard 36-28 to London. But at least that try from Crowther has given Hull some hope. The gap now is 8 points. What a terrific contest to lift everyone's spirits.
Certainly has. There's been skills aplenty, and the one thing I have been impressed with is that the way that this London side, they're hunting as a pack now. They were all at sea, especially in the first 20 minutes. Their defence was, well, just being broken through with ease.
Here is Donkin again. Now then, Chester attacking the line. Flicks it back to Richard Horn. He scampers away from 2, gets away from 3, gets a good ball to Carvel. Here goes Carvel up the middle. Ball down by Gillette.
Good work by the standoff, Richard Horn.
Oh, interception!
Oh, it was a gift.
Moran for the corner. Prescott's after him. Moran will make it. Moran will score.
That'll seal it.
Dennis Moran, the interception king of the Super League. He's come up with it again. Hull were flooding forward. There was nobody home. And Moran took the gamble. And he took the pass intended for the winger outside him. And he's come up with try number 11 of this campaign.
Crafty customer, he read it to perfection. Wonderful vision. He knew that Hull would be looking to try to get the ball out wide, and it came from Smith. Smith looked in absolute disgust as soon as the fella got it. He knew exactly where he was going. They don't come much straighter than that for a TRY. Here it is on the wide shot. He read it to absolute perfection. Those little legs were pumping through, and all the time he's thinking it's TRY. Yes!
Credit Prescott, he kept up the chase, so he forced Moran out wide, which means the conversion attempt now from Tony Martin isn't easy. 40 points to 28. It's back to 12 again, and this will probably win it.
Oh, it's gone wide.
Wide it is. 40-28.
Well, surely
Still
Hull...
not done, but a big mountain.
I'm just saying, surely Hull will go for the short kick. But it looks as though Crowther's setting up for a kick into the deep. I'm not so sure whether they're trying to make it bounce, but no, they've gone for the short. That's the best thing to do.
And Richard Horne flicks the ball back. Here now is Sean Ryan. They took the gamble and they got their reward. Now then, there's 9 minutes left. Here's Donkin. Great tackle. Super tackle from the tackling machine from London Rexless. Smith. Carvel. Chester. On the bounce to Richard Horne. Richard Horne over the top to Rayner. Good scrambling defence from Dom Peters.
Did well though, did Rayner. His balance, he knew was going over the whitewash, and he made sure to just stuck the leg down and propped off it. But again, we see the scrambling defence from London, which has been superb in the second half.
Chester, it was on the bounce, and Coe Love picks it up. He then tips it back to Paul Cook, to Carvel, and Budworth with the challenge, importantly. Chester, Smith, changes the direction again. Cook, wide it goes on the bounce to Mackay. He's scored. He has scored.
Yep.
Well, it's difficult to see on that far side.
Certainly scored.
Mackay has scored.
Well, what a game. He knows he's still in with a chance. This is unbelievable.
You actually can tell when Hull score because it goes very, very quiet.
Well, both sides at different periods in this game really dug deep. It was a very speculative pass there from the big fella Paul Cook. Smith brought it back onto the blind side. They just held off. Steve Hall left the gap, nothing that Martin could do. Propped it in, and look at disbelief on Tony Martin, as Eddie has already mentioned. Pretty quiet in that stand, not now, but he's trying to get the conversion. Listen to them.
I think he's missed another. 40-32. Well, it's a point-a-thon.
And is that the fifth he's missed?
Fourth. 4 misses from Crowther, 3 misses from Martin. So that just about evens itself up.
There's a problem you can see for the big fella Graham Mackay. Sun well and truly into his eyes, and there's little doubt the Broncos, and that's what they will be looking at, because the Broncos are kicking into that corner now.
That's been knocked forward, hasn't it? No, yes, it has. They've had an awful job dealing with these London kickoffs.
Well, the reason being that too many cooks were spoiling the broth. That should have been one shout only. It should have been Mackay's. Well, certain things in this game you've got to admire. The skill factor has been great, but there's been some fundamental errors.
Looping pass from Gillette to Roy. Horn got to him, Prescott there as well. Plays the ball to Gillette, and Gillette takes them on.
Maybe the field goal, surely they'll go for it. Just eats up the clock as well.
Restless, they're looking for more than that. They're bang in front of those sticks.
Gillette's there. He's way back, he's giving himself plenty of space.
But they've gone right, have they? Toshack comes back, straightens it up. Well, that's 4. Gillette is this way. They're going out wide. Moran dabs it through. They're in again. They're in again with Bowden. And that is the match. Russell Bowden has scored the try. Tony Ray has conjured up a victory out of nothing here. Shorn of all his stars. And Bowden, well, the smile says it all.
Neat little kick through from Moran. Was he held back and he got a second foot to it? Was he in front? Bowden. Referee Carl Kirkpatrick was pretty confident, looked at both touches. They said there was nothing there. I think that Bowden was just a touch in front when Moran kicked it. It doesn't matter. The look on the whole players' faces tells the story. London have come off the canvas to give one of the most remarkable knockouts I think I've seen for a long, long time. And full credit to them. Full credit to their coach, Tony Ray, as well. A very difficult situation. He kept his cool. He brought on the men that mattered. Stevenson and Marshall tightened the defence. The result, a wonderful victory.
And that's another 2 for Martin. 46-32. It's a victory. It's just a question now of by how many. Bowden, Stevenson and Marshall, they have all played their part. What an incredible game.
Well, he enjoyed that, Bowden, and I don't think they did.
They can't believe it. Well claimed by Gillette. He started off in nightmare fashion, Michael Gillette, but credit to him, he really has put in a performance to be proud of since.
Well, he couldn't get a gear. The exhaust was falling off, the doors were falling off. All of a sudden, he's gone Rolls Royce.
So of London. Little more than 3 minutes remaining, and it's London who are finishing the stronger. Bowden, oh, a little knock forward by Martin. Well, he can smile at the mistake now, and he gives the credit to Bowden for the run, but he wasn't smiling midway through that first half.
Well, they brought Russell Bowden back from Australia. When a lot of
Tony Martin back from Australia too.
Well, a lot of people thought that perhaps Martin had the youth, but they thought Bowden maybe he was past his best. But he's had a good season. A bit slow to start, but boy oh boy, he's finishing off well.
Here's Horn.
But you've got to go back to the fact where he brought Marshall and Stevenson on.
That was the turning point.
Yeah. And also the way that he marshalled his defence. Got it sorted out. This is a magnificent victory for the Broncos.
And Tony Ray has conjured up 34 second-half points for his team as well. And that, I think, was probably the first time we've actually seen Tony Ray's teeth on this programme, because he was smiling then. This is Jason Smith thinking about the pass out wide again. Coe Love. Well, they're trying to finish with something, Hull.
But that typifies this London effort in defence. You could see how they were just closing them down, and they've allowed Hull only one section of the field, and that's right down the middle of the plane.
It's with Horn, it's back on the inside, and flicked brilliantly to Horn again. Not for... No, was he offside?
The other turnover. He's on the last, he lost control of it. And this will be up the jumper time. Confused look on the youngster Richard Horn.
Well, Hull were winning this easily. And then Tony Ray, and Sean McRae won't need reminding, Tony Ray suddenly, I think, gained a few more stripes as a coach. He changed it completely. Retchless Peters.
Well, Hull were putting out the beach towels. They thought they were in luxury land. They were going to just enjoy it in this hot sunshine. But they forgot to bring the umbrella of this side called the Broncos. Well, this has to go down as one of the great fightbacks.
It has, without
this
a doubt.
London side.
And they're still not finished. Hall to Martin, a kick and chase from Martin. Prescott has it, but a great enthusiastic chase from Tony Martin. But it's going to be Hull's 4th defeat in 6 matches. We talk about Leeds' slide. This will do them a little bit of a favour.
Well, if my memory
It won't
serves
do
me
Hull any favours.
might serve me right, Eddie. It's London in the top 6 situation now.
Gareth Rayner flicks the ball inside. It was collected then, and here comes Parker. He gets the pass away. Jason Smith, he will keep it going to Chester. Hull looking to finish with the last try of the match. They're not going to get it. They are not going to get it. There's the full-time siren. It's all over, and look at the reaction from Tony Ray. A match that had gone after 22 minutes, and look at the reaction from Sean McRae. 22-6 up they were, but Tony Ray is basking in the glory of an absolutely astounding win for London. 22-6 down after 22 minutes, he changed it all. Stevenson came on, and within 3 minutes scored the try that gave us a 22-12 scoreline at half-time in Hull's favour. London took it on apace in the second half, and Tony Ray smiling all the way through the post-match celebrations. And so are the London fans. If it's entertainment you want, it doesn't come much better than this. 78 points have been scored here at Griffin Park, 46 of them by the London Broncos, coached by Tony Ray. They're delighted, and well they should be. This is a very significant scalp in a season when they have seen the likes of St Helens and Bradford beaten here. They now add Hull to that list. 46-32, a golden evening for the Broncos. And the man of the match has been deemed to be Russell Bowden, and he is with Chris Warren.
Russell here, you're with us, the man of the match. There's your TISO Man of the Match award. A fantastic performance from yourself. How does it feel?
Yeah, mate, I knew I had to step up this week because we had a few out, and, you know, I'm one of the elder players now, and I've got to get used to that, and you know, I think there was 17 blokes out there who really wanted in the second half.
It's you were pleased with that try at the end of the game there?
Yeah, mate, it's, you know, it's one of those fluky ones, or, you know, any try will do me, so, you know, that come from 13 blokes on the field just pushing towards that main goal, and that was just a try.
Well done, Russell, on a fantastic performance. With me is Tony Ray, London Broncos coach. Tony, was that a smile we saw there at the end of the game?
Yeah, they deserved that. That was a good week. It was a good week all round. We've had a few blokes come out, but typical of the club, everyone was looking what was in. You know, we said at half time, it's only 17 blokes can do something about this, and you're good enough to do it, and they went out and showed that they can.
Tony, what did you say at half-time? 34 points in the second half. They must have been some positive words from yourself.
Yeah, it was plenty to look at. I just thought there was some space in front of us. I just thought we had to control the ball. You know, I thought Dennis Moran had to step up, and he did. He just grabbed a hold of the game, and he just made sure he steered the team home. So his control was fantastic, and I was real happy with the way the team leaders got us over the line. And again, Matt Toshak, what a game from the captain. Fantastic
performance from Matt Toshak. Tony, a long time between drinks here at Griffin Park for you. That must be pleasing for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to have a good reputation at home, and we're doing that. It's a hard place to go. The fans really created some great atmosphere for us, and yeah, it was a tough day today. We had to really aim up. I'm a bit pumped up. It was a good game for us and a good win, a great team performance, a good performance through the week to get us the result.
You look pumped up, and you're in the six at the moment.
Well, we don't look at that, and we will still won't be looking at that stuff, and it's nothing we spoke about during the week, you know, what the table was or anything like that. We just control performance, and we just make sure we show up tomorrow.
Cheers.